The state of California is capping all medical malpractice lawsuits to $250,000 before prescription prices have a cap. Whoopsie daisy. Let me tell you a little bit about this antiquated law and what it thought to include. This includes adults and children, negligent and intentional malpractice, loss of quality of life. You don't say. Medical malpractice that occurred in a psychiatry building. Disfigurement. This bill even thought to include death. As some of you may know, I ran into a psychiatrist in my early 20s that thought he had fallen in love with my brain. He was 54 and I was 21 and he was a 400-pound man. Gave me autism meds for ADD at the risk of putting my central nervous system out. When I told him he was putting my central nervous system out, he began using manipulative tactics and even at one point said that he could see me picking my face even though my hands were at my sides and my perfectly clear complexion. I decided he was probably doing this to all of his patients. Here's a list of lawyers that I called and had my case rejected until the last one sent me an email that said this. I learned how to talk like this while working at Domino's Pizza, so let me just whip out my excellent customer service voice for you. Thank you for contacting our office in regard to your potential claim. Based on the information we received, this firm will not be undertaking any action on your behalf. If your case involves medical malpractice, that may be a factor in our decision to decline it. In California, a group of laws called the Medical Injury Compensation Reform Act, Micra, places limits on the amount of general damages recoverable from hospitals and doctors for medical malpractice, no matter how seriously you are injured. Ultimately, the vast majority of medical malpractice cases that proceed to trial are lost by the patient. If you would like more information on Micra and what you can do to help change these harmful laws, please visit the following website, and then they just give me a link. They said you do it. So I said, okay, I will do all the work. So California is enforcing this law passed in 1975. The cost of prescription is not even capped. In fact, the cost of prescription increased 5.36% per year since 1975, and my source is the Consumer Price Index of the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So 5.36% per year. Since 1975, this totals to 1,003%. 0.89. For perspective, if it had increased 100%, it would have matched its own cost. If it was $250,000 then, it would have been $500,000 now because 100% of 250 is 250. Well, it increased 1,003%, which means it has matched itself 10 times since 1975. If the value of medicine matches itself 10 times or more since we began keeping record, that's not an exponential trend. That is a machine. The doctors' salaries increased over the years. The cost of prescriptions increased over the years. The number of medical malpractice cases increased over the years. Gee, you see where I'm going with this? So far, science is only a bottomless payout for those in authority over others and not the things we need. No wonder there's a lawyer strike. They said it's communist activity. No one's gonna take your medical malpractice case in the middle of the Holocaust. I know you hate the word payout, but if you were a doctor in the world and the world needed you and they were willing to pay you out of a black hole that only grows, what is your right to puncture it? It's nobody's right to work. They will tell you that at McDonald's, so we should be telling that to people in positions of authority over others before we let them into the zoo. Where do we go from here? If you were a lawyer and I've sent you this, lawyers cannot participate in an economy that is practicing communism. Don't send a link to the Micra page to your clients and cross your fingers and hope that they're going to fight it for you. Make sure you put lawyer strike on your websites to ensure that nobody actually times out of the statute of limitations. The rest of you, the most efficient thing you can do is stop being socially awkward and leave a voicemail to your California representative. And say what? And say what, Anne? Here, I will give you a template to use. You just tell them in a real professional voice like this. You go, hi, my name is underscore. I am an insert my occupation here. You have to kill the Micra bill because there's a lawyer strike going on and I have a medical malpractice case. And they're holding the statute of limitations over our heads. A lot of these cases involve over-testing on children because children have excellent brain plasticity. And because this is just a politician, they don't really care if you're awkward, they don't really care about you, they just care about the point. You can then go, okay, thanks. My phone number is... You don't even have to talk to them. Actually, you can leave a voicemail to any representative in the United States at 12 in the morning if you wish. If you want to join my fight against those gagging on a silver spoon jammed halfway down their orifices, just remember this before you hit the red subscribe button, kids. One little spoonful is all that you need, because doctors are tweakers for government cheese.